Hey, YouTubers! I meant YouTubers, sorry. Well, it's close, right? Anyway, I wanted to bring this video a little short because I just want to provide you an observation and what's motivating me to work into my 90s. And this sounds crazy, I'm sure, but listen before you come to your conclusion. The reason I want to work till I'm 90 is this. I'm almost 60. And I'm working among people that are in their teens, 20s, early 30s, many of which make up most of the workforce population at my job. Okay? I work in a call center, just so you know. And so, of course, there's a few into the 40s, but that's, here and there. And then when you get into the 50s, like almost nobody, there might be one. And I'm hitting closely to 60. So I wanted to say this to you who are watching my channel, which, God only knows, but I want to say this. The reason I want to work to my 90s is because everyone in their teens, 20s, and 30s are sick. They're sick, almost like so sick that they have to miss work. They're so sick that they have to come in and look, and this is a call center, so you got to think there's got to be like an upbeat vibe. There's got to be, everyone's like energized, ready to go, because it's a call center. You got to be ready to go, right? These people that have been hired in their teens, 20s, and 30s are worse off, and I'm just, stating the truth. Many of them are worse off than I am. And so someone in my training class said to me, looking at me, they're obviously observing me and listening to me, etc. They've been with me for 3 to 4 days. One of the students said, how does it feel to be you? How does it actually feel to be who you are? Because you're not the typical, person that's getting close to 60. And that was like a very profound question. I didn't know how to answer it. I really didn't. I mean, there's a lot of things that went through my head when they said, how does it feel to be you? The easy answer would be it feels great, but that's not the easy answer, because it doesn't always feel great. And it's not easy. And I don't feel like I'm I'm on the pinnacle of whatever, hierarchy of professional, you've reached your pinnacle of your profession or whatever. I haven't even come close to what most people would think is the pinnacle of their profession. So I'm sitting there thinking, what is it like to be me? That's a tough one to answer. And it really stumped me. And I didn't have an answer until the next day. And so the next day I came in and I said, you know what? I finally have an answer to your question. What it feels to be me, it feels convicting. It feels humbling. It feels tiring. It feels that I haven't arrived yet. It feels I have more to do. That's how it feels. So I'm not going to come out with an answer like, oh, okay, I feel satisfied. I feel great. I'm really happy with who I am. And most people who look at my pictures on Instagram or whatever, Twitter, you can, not that anybody does, nobody does, but if anybody did, they'd look at me at my age, they'd say, wow, you must feel great. You must be, one of those 1%ers or 2%ers that, they always put it on genetics and you're just genetically gifted or whatever. No, I'm not. I'm not genetically gifted. It's not that. It's not that. It's just I've learned through failure many times. And this has to do spiritually, has to do physically, has to do in every way. I've learned that no matter what it is that we as humans are all going through, that continue to, come at you to beat you down, I've learned that either you will succumb to it or you're going to do everything you can to overcome it and beat it. And that's a daily That's a daily investment and grind in terms of what you have to do to be something that's going to overcome and combat, if you will, everything that's coming at you to bring you down. So that's the answer. I gave that kind of answer, and they understood what I was saying. I think they appreciated the humility, but it's genuine. That's honestly, genuinely the answer to the question. How does it feel to be me? It's not always good. It's not good. It's not enjoyable. It oftentimes, I reflect on things, and I'm not always reflecting in such a positive or, I don't know, positive, reflection of, yeah, this is great. I'm in a great place. I'm doing terrific. I'm great. I'm doing better, or whatever, than most my age. That's not really what comes to my mind. Now, at the end of the day, I want to be fully transparent and say this, that when I'm out in the public, when I'm seeing what's around me, right, and seeing what's in front of me and seeing what's walking around, do I, at that moment in time, think to myself, wow, I'm thankful that I'm in the situation that I'm in right now. I'm thankful that I'm doing what I'm doing, the hard work to do what I'm doing, because I don't want to be in the situation or position or what I'm visually seeing with these people around me. I don't want to be in that situation. Does that come to my mind? Absolutely. Absolutely, that comes to my mind. And the only difference is what I see around me just didn't do the grind, the hard work, whatever it took, the stuff that, would mean you have to submit and succumb to things that are going to be very painful, very difficult, very challenging. That's the problem. A lot of self-discipline, they just weren't willing to do it. So the outcome of that is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. But that's what people are seeing in my classes. They're like, how is it that you are who you are? How is it that you do what you do? How is it that you are an outward example of what most people aren't? What is it like to feel? What is it like to be and feel who you are? And that's the answer. Humbling. I hold myself accountable. I don't like a lot of things where I'm at or what I'm doing, and I always want to get better. And so it's that, I think to me, it's that conviction about the things that I don't like that keeps me pushing forward than patting myself on the back for everything. I don't pat myself on the back for a lot of things. There's a lot of things that has to be better. There's a lot of things that has to improve. But at least I have that recognition of it, whereas most people, they're so blunt and, horribly blatant about where they are and what they are. They drag it into the gym. They drag it into the, marketplace. They drag it into jobs, and it's despicable. It's disgusting, and they're absolutely satisfied with where they're at. And I'm so sad to see it, because they're never going to get it right.